Hello and welcome back to my channel, guys. Today we are going to make a quick video. We are going to mix an Afrobeat vocal from start to the end. By the way, this video was requested by one of my subscribers. I'm going to put his handle above. He said he need a video like this, and I promise to be attending to your request. So this is one of it. We are going to take a look at how you can be able to mix your vocals, especially Afrobeat vocal, but this can be applied to different kinds of genre, but for this is for Afrobeat. So if you are using a low budget microphone like the one I'm holding, this video is going to help you, because some of this microphone have a lot of background noise and so on. So this video is going to help you on how you are going to clean up your vocals, make your vocals sound professional. So without wasting time, let's go right into the video. By the way, please like, subscribe, and share if you want to see more of stuff like this. So all those little stuff's gonna encourage me to do more videos like this, and you can drop your video request. I will try my best to see what to do. So by the way, no much talk, let's go right into the video. I'm going to play the mix, then we are going to take off everything, and I'll explain every step one by one. So let's get right into the video.
I dey walking on low. My place longer now, go. See the way that you move, you feeling the groove, you bossy your bolo. I no need to shalayo. See money go come my way. All I need na favor. You know fi mess with destiny, AJ. I know fi keep you company again. You know fi be my friend, me again. But me, I know now.
All right, so that's the vocals. So I'm going to take everything off, then I'm going to be explaining how I make them sound like this. So quickly, I'm going to take off every plugin. Here you can see I'm using a lot of quite number of plugins, which is not supposed to be so, but it's because of these vocals are dirty. That's why I have to do a lot of stuff, but don't be scared, it's not that complex. So I'm taking off all the effects. Right, let's listen to how it is sounding. Let me take off the auto-tune as well. Okay.
I dey walking on low. My grace longer now, go. See the way that you move, you feeling the groove, you bossy your bolo. I no need to shalayo. See money go come my way. All I need na favor. You know fi mess with destiny, AJ. I know fi keep you company again. You know fi be my friend, me again.
So you can see how everything is going. You can hear everything sounding pretty much rough. Let me solo the lead vocal. So we are going to be focusing on the lead vocal. So let me solo it. So let's listen.
I dey walking on low. My grace longer now, go. See the way that you move, you feeling the groove, you boss.
So it has a lot of noise. So let's go. The first thing I do always is to add my auto-tune key correction plugin. I like to use the waves tune real time. So this plugin is very nice in key correction, so it's one of my favorites. So the song is D minor, so I set it to the key of the song, which you should do. whenever you add auto tune, the first thing you need to do is to set it to the key of the song. Very important. So if you don't know how to set the key of your song and the rest, you can use key finders. So get the key of your song. Like me, I normally use Visual DJ Mixer. I'll throw in the song, then I'll get the key, the tempo, then you set those things up. That's the first, even before you record mostly. So not so much, I set it to the key of the song, set the speed around 47 or something. I want the auto tune to be very effective, so I set it up, and then that's how it sounds now. So let's listen to how it sounds with the auto tune.
I dey walking on low, 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 low. My grace longer now, go, go, go. See the way that you move, you feeling the groove, you bossy your bolo, bolo.
Yeah, nice. It's sounding more, on key, and everything is sounding nice. So the next thing I do is I create a group channel. I'm not going to talk too much about that for the sake of time. I created a group channel, but in case if you don't know how to create group channel on Cubase 12, I can make a video on that, but we are not going to go into that in order not to take time. So I created a group channel, and I route my lead vocal into that group channel, so that I'll be able to effect all of them at once, because I think I have like 2 lead vocal channel. So I have to create lead group channel, to add everything. So let's go. The first thing I do is to add a noise gate, which is this waves NS1. So what it does is to suppress the noise, because I recorded right here in my room, and that microphone is a very noisy one, not even this one I'm using. So let's listen.
Low, 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 low. My grace longer now, go, go. See the way that you move, you feeling the.
So if you notice, it's taking a lot of the brightness of the vocal, but that's not the problem right now. We are going to correct all this later on. So let's go to the next plugin. So the next thing I did was to add a compressor, and I assume you already know what compressor does. I added a compressor to give the vocal a little bit control, and balancing. So there is a preset I normally like to use, Dave Pensado. There is a lead vocal, so most time I use the one, depend on the situation. So I bring the threshold down to like 25, and the attack around 5, and the ratio around 3.6. so nothing too crazy, but just to control the vocal, not too crazy, and to still maintain some dynamics, because it's Afrobeat. The vocal need to have some movement. So let's listen with the compressor.
I dey walking on low, 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 low. My grace longer now, go, go. See the way that you move, you feeling the groove, you bossy your bolo, bolo. I no need to shalayo. See money go come my way.
So if you notice now, the vocal is sounding more in a position where it doesn't go too crazy, it doesn't go too quiet. So everything is sounding a bit stable. Then the next thing I do was to add an EQ. The EQ is not too crazy. I use the Pro Q3, and just to take off the low, I take off the low about roughly around 100 and something, let's say 100, around the 100 hertz. I took off all that frequency because it's very boxy. If I solo it, is very boxy, so I took off that part. Then let's see how it sounds with EQ.
I dey walking on low, 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 low. My grace longer now, go, go, go. See the way that you move.
So before it was sounding,
You move, you feeling the groove, you bossy.
So with the EQ,
You bossy your bolo, bolo. I no need to shalayo.
So take off a little bit of these boxy frequencies, nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. I'm just taking off frequencies that I feel like it's not making the vocal sound bright and clear. Then the next thing I did, a lot of noise was still coming up because of the compressor, so I added a little I added back NS1 again, and this time I like bring it up to like 18, not as crazy as 30 or so, just to control some of the noise again. So let's see.
Yo, lo, 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 lo. My grace longer now, go, go. See the way that you move, you feeling the groove, you bossy your bolo, bolo. I no need to shalayo. Simone.
So now it's sounding a little bit smooth, but a little bit still boxy because of this. By the way, the microphone was very noisy. That's why I have to go through all this stress. So the next thing I did was to add a multi-band compressor, which is up. So here is C6. What I did here was just to control a little bit of his high frequencies, just those harsh frequencies. That's the noisy part, and some of the harsh high hands. So let me I will solo and play it. Let's say on the vocal.
My grace longer now, go, go. See the way that you move, you feeling the groove, you bossy your bolo,
So it was
bolo.
like this.
I no need. Simone go come my way. All I need now, oh.
So
Bossy your bolo, bolo.
so you can hear I'm kind of compressing this frequency very slightly. Then there's another frequency. Let me check. And this frequency here, I'm not even doing much, just a little, just to make sure the those frequencies are not too harsh on the ears, because it's C1 microphone, so sometimes those frequencies are always crazy. So the next thing I did was to add Xvox. This is a very beautiful plugin. This is like all-in-one vocal mixer. You can use just these plugins to mix your song, finish your whole vocals, but I don't like using it that way. I like to do it my way. So this is what I did on it. So let me just play.
My grace longer now, go. See the way that you move, you feeling the groove.
Yeah, we are talking. So what I did here was to use a preset called Clear Modern Leads. So, and I adjust it to my taste. So there is little de-essing going on here, about 19%. Then there is a little compression going on here again. So what this compressor is doing here is to smack up, kind of take up the whole vocal level a little bit higher and more aggressive. Then a little bit of EQ here again, then a little bit of air around here, you can see. Then I added a little reverb, like 15% of all reverb, and a little delay, like 5%. Then the effects, SFX, I added a little bit of vocal widener, something like that. Is like making the voice sound a little bit more like doubles, but not too obvious, so you can listen to it and how it sound.
My grace longer now, go. See the way that you move, you feeling the groove, you bossy your bolo, bolo. I no need to shalayo.
So if you notice, everything is sounding a little bit more glued. So after that, I added another EQ. What I did on this EQ is very simple, very subtle. I increase a little bit of the high end a little just to give it more clarity. Then I still control some of the boxy frequencies. So let's listen.
Lo, 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 lo. My place longer now, go, go. See the way that you move, you feeling the groove, you bust.
So if you notice, after the X folks and adding some of those effects and everything, there are some thick some dark frequencies that were coming up. So what I did was to take off a little bit on those boxy frequencies. Let me solo so that you can listen to.
You bust
You can hear, if you're on headphones, you will hear it.
on my woo.
And
All
yeah,
I now favor.
you can hear it. And another frequency.
Oh, it's longer now. Bossy your bolo bolo.
Yeah, so just a little, nothing too crazy. My camera is off. Okay, no problem, we can still continue without the camera. Let me just close this. All right, so the next thing I did was to add a DSR. So I used the Pro DSR from FabFilter. So let's listen to how this affects the voice.
Lo, 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 lo. My place longer now, go, go. See the way that you move, you feeling the groove, you bossy your bolo bolo. I no need to shala yo. See money go come my way. All I can lo, lo. Move, you feeling the groove, you bossy your bolo bolo.
So this compressor is doing a lot of work here because the vocals are becoming a little sharp, and I have to control some of those high frequencies. Then the next thing again, I like to use two compressors basically, apart from the multiband compressor that I added there. That one is just compressing little frequencies from the vocal. So I added another one to be able to bring up a little bit of the vocal. So what I'm doing here is very subtle. I bring out the threshold to around 18, then attack around 5.0, then the ratio around 1.99, then the gain about 1.5. So it's just a small control because the first compressor is already around 25. So after bringing up the vocals, I'm just trying to take off a little bit of the frequencies that jump out of the first compression so that I'll be able to kind of smoothen everything more.
Walking on lo 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 lo. My place longer now, go go. See the way that you move, you feeling the groove, you bust.
So nothing too crazy. Vocal is sounding a bit more stable and more solid if you noticed. Then is what I used to do. There is this preset here that I like to use, this classic DSR and gate, because of the like I said, I recorded with C1, so a little bit of to still control the harsh frequencies. So this is a C1 compressor slash gates plugin by Wave, the classic series. So let me play how this affect the vocal.
My place longer now, go go. See the way that you move, you feeling the groove, you bossy your bolo bolo.
So
I no need to shala yo.
so a little bit of holding these frequencies, but nothing too crazy. It doesn't like really affect it that you will notice it, but it's still making something nice there.
Lo. My place longer now, go go. See the way that you move, you feeling the groove, you bossy your bolo bolo. I no need to shala yo.
So that's it. Then second to the last plugin I use is Fresh Air. So what I'm doing here is to add a little bit of air back to the vocal. to give you that crisp, modern, pop vocal feel. So let's see what the fresh air is doing.
It's longer now, go. See the way that you move, you feeling the groove, you bossy your bolo bolo. I no need to shala yo. See money go come my way. All I need na favor.
So what the fresh air is doing, just to give it some high end, but if you notice, it's very clean high end, very smooth, like not harsh. So you can understand what it is doing. Then I added my last DSR. I added a DSR from Wave. That's the Wave DSR. Added this, and let's see what this one does.
I dey walking on low. My grace longer now, go. See the way that you move, you feeling the groove, you bossy your bolo bolo. I no need to shala yo.
So if you notice, this is just working with the fresh air, just controlling the overall vocal sharpness to give it solid, smooth high end, nothing too crazy on this one. So you listen, let's solo and listen to it.
To move, you feeling the groove, you bossy your bolo bolo.
So that's basically all the effecting that I did here, all the plugins used. And then let's go to the effects. So I added the reverb. Valhalla. Added the Valhalla vintage reverb. So what I did here was I selected a preset called SP wide lead vocal. Then I set my pre-delay to the time of the project, which is let me see, 106. So there is some little calculation I did there. I don't know if you know about it, but I learned this over the years on this reverb time calculation. So they said you have to divide it 60,000 by the project BPMs, then you divide it by, is it 8 or so, then you will get the reverb time. Then that is if you are looking for the 8 notes delay. Then if you want to go for maybe the quarter note, then you divide it by again by 2 or something. I really don't know too deep about that, but mostly it works anytime I try to follow up that guide. So let's see how it works. So
Longer now, go. See the way that you move, you feeling the groove, you bossy your bolo bolo.
So by the way, I added a little EQ on the reverb. Yeah, you can see the EQ on the reverb. I take off the low and some of the high in order to make the reverb sit properly on the mix. So let's listen with the beats.
You move, you feeling the groove, you bossy your bolo bolo. I no need to shala yo. See money go come my way. All I need na favor.
Sorry, just checking this record. So
move, you feeling the groove, you bossy your bolo bolo. I no need to shala yo. See money go come my way. All I need na favor.
So you can hear everything is sounding pretty solid. Then the next thing I did was to add a delay. So I used the H delay from Waves. And and then
Walking on low, 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 low. My grace longer now, go, go, go. See the way that you move, you feel it.
so I use the ping pong preset, then I adjust to my taste. Nothing too crazy, you can see. I adjust to my taste, and if you listen carefully, you can hear the reverb.
Walking on low, 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 low. My grace longer now, go, go, go. See the way that you move, you feeling the groove, you bossy your bolo, bolo. I no need to shala yo. See money go come my way. All I need na favor. You know fi mess with.
So all these reverb and delay was sent through send. So I send them to the lead vocal boss, which is the group. I send like 10 minus 10 dB of the reverb. I send like minus 13 dB of the delay to the vocal, and this is how it sound.
I dey walking on low, 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 low. My grace longer now, go, go, go. See the way that you move, you feeling the groove, you bossy your bolo, bolo.
So another thing I did was, this is just a bonus, I added a little flanger. So I used meta flanger, then I used it through the null preset. What I did, okay, this flanger I used for the background vocal, sorry. So that's pretty much everything for the lead vocal. So let's see how I did for the background vocals. The background vocals, nothing too crazy. It's almost the same presets, the same settings that I use for the lead vocal, but the only thing I did here was I added a reverb directly to it, to the background vocal. So let's listen just to give you more space. So I added a reverb.
Yeah, Jay. I know fi keep you company again. You know fi be my friend, me again. Mutimale me at.
So I added a reverb on the background group channel directly to the channel. So that's one of the difference. I would say that's the main difference. Then another thing was pretty much the same thing. I sent the same reverb and delay to it. Then the extra thing I did was to send a flanger. You can see about minus 6 dB of a flanger to it, just to give you the little bit movement. So that's how everything sounds. So let's listen to it once again, then we wrap it up.
I dey walking on low, 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 low. My grace longer now, go, go, go. See the way that you move, you feeling the groove, you bossy your bolo, bolo. I no need to shala yo. See money go come my way. All I need na favor. You know fi mess with destiny, Ajay. I know fi keep you company again. You know fi be my friend, me again. Mutimale me.
So that's pretty much everything. So if you learn anything new from this video, please do drop it on the comment below, and then if you want to request for another video like this, maybe a specific video, you can also drop it on the comment below. Like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you again on the next video. Bless up.